Bienvenidos a La Verdad Cuesta. En este episodio tuvimos la oportunidad de conversar aquí en Puerto Rico con una mujer que tiene una historia que podría superar el libreto de cualquier película. Conversamos con Immaculee Iligabiza, natural de Rwanda y sobreviviente del genocidio de 1994. Imagina por un momento tener que pasar 91 días en un baño de 3 pies por 4 pies con 7 personas más y al salir enterarte que tu familia no sobrevivió, que fue asesinado. Tuvimos muy poco tiempo por lo cargada de su agenda y se quedaron muchas preguntas pendientes, pero aún así cubrimos bastante. Es posible que en el futuro podamos conversar con más tiempo. A Immaculee, gracias por compartir tu historia con Puerto Rico. Well, first of all, thank you for being here with me and for this opportunity, and thank you for being here in Puerto Rico. It is a pleasure to have us have you on the island. So, for the purpose of people knowing you, who are you, and who is Immaculee? Who is she? Who was she? And back in the day, before the events that pretty much changed her life, and who is she now?
Well, I am from Rwanda originally. That's where I was born. I live in the USA. I have a family with 2 children and my husband. And I've been writing. I have now 12 books since 2006.
12 books?
12 books, yeah.
Wow.
So, but what I love most is that since 2006, when I wrote my first book, I really can go out and share my story to encourage people, to strengthen them in their own stories, the things they're going through, and above all, to share faith. When you share with somebody faith and you can see the light in the eyes again. So I guess that's who I am, to share the good news of our Lord.
What was your country before 1994?
Before the genocide?
Before the genocide.
The genocide, yeah. So before the genocide, the memories I remember, it's really like memories all over. Mm-hmm. I see, I live in the US and now my children were born there, but when I see them, now I'm here in Puerto Rico, when I see a beautiful family, I feel like, I can see my mom and dad. Wow. Because, we were in a family, 4 children. My mom gave us chores and dad to behave. Every evening we sit together and have a meal. Neighbors were really good. I never feared in my neighborhood. All the problems that were there tribal were really caused by the government that for some reasons wanted to cause these problems, maybe to be voted more or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I remember it's good memories.
Well, now that we've heard about Tutsis and Hutus, but what are the differences? Are there any differences? What differentiates a Tutsi from Hutu? Social things or religious things or what?
Yeah, so Hutu and Tutsis had everything in common. We had the same culture.
That's interesting to know because...
Yeah, to feel like it's really strange. That's why when we felt like they were kind of pushing people to feel different and they were saying, one day we'll kill them. I said, why? Why would anyone want to kill your friend?
That would be the media.
Yeah, that was the media.
Okay.
Yes, so they would say that. And
one day, Hutus would kill the Tutsis?
The Tutsis, yeah.
Wow.
They would just say that. And then they would act like they were drunk. That's how crazy it was.
Wow.
So they would say things like, give me scotch. They would be like, acting like they were drinking. So we took them serious, but not really. Can somebody do that? It was all new. It was something they were preparing just to kill this tribe.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's surreal.
So Tutsi and Hutu are the same color, same people. We have a little differences, but I don't know if it is tribal or, natural, or was it something because they made them? So our tribes were created. One time when the colonization came, Belgians colonized our country. So colonization, they were colonizing. They wanted to divide and conquer. So when they came, they saw that the country was very much one person. And they said, let's create tribes. So every tall person, we put them in one category. They were called them Tutsis. And everyone who had a nose a little bit narrower became more Tutsis. to a point where
So it wasn't a historical thing.
No.
It was pretty much part of the colonialism.
yeah, colonial, they created it.
Wow.
So before Tutsi and Hutu, those words existed, but they were more about wealth. So if you had cows, you were a Tutsi. If you work in a field, you were a Hutu. If you were a Hutu who wanted the cows, you became a Tutsi. If you were a Tutsi who wanted to go to the field, you became a Hutu. So then
But then the colonialists pretty much used those terms to divide the country.
yes.
Wow.
And then they said to say, if you don't do what we want, then we tell others to fight you. So that's how it was really. But nobody thought it was ever going to be a problem, that it can really become like you're going to kill somebody.
No, but what do you think triggered? Well, I've heard you talk about the plane that was shot down with the
Yes.
president. Is that, you think, what pretty much triggered the genocide?
No.
No.
What happened? Okay, it is a trigger because they used it. First of all, they shot him, his own people. And after they shot him, they used it to start.
Oh.
So they wanted something that can boil people up. So I remember 2 years before the genocide, the man who created the genocide, who was in prison, he died recently. The UN imprisoned him. His name was Bakosora. So he saw the two tribes with these problems. They had an agreement of peace. And our president shook the hand of one of the people of our tribe who was refugees so that they can allow people to come back inside their country. And when they shook hands, this head of military was really powerful in the country, he went outside, told the media, I'm going to prepare apocalypse.
Wow.
And those things were in every paper. This man said he's preparing apocalypse of Tutsis. So we knew that, but we just thought, he can't. He's not capable.
But nobody believed this.
Nobody believed that. Wow. They believed it, but not really. I remember the UN came in Rwanda to try to bring peace. And the man called Romeo Daria, who wrote a book called Shake Hands with the Devil, he shook hands with that man who was the head of the military. And he said, I looked in his eyes, I saw the devil. And if the devil exists, God must be existing too. Wow. So he prepared the genocide. He said, I'm going to prepare apocalypse. So what they did was, they came and created a radio, made people hate each other because we were very friends. And after they created this tension where people are laughing at us, where our friends are laughing, they make jokes about us.
Wow.
And when that tension was there, then they issued machetes toward the Hutus.
So they gave machetes, weapons.
Yeah, way before the president ever died, and weapons. And again, sometimes people were hiding it. And our lady, I remember, Mary, who appeared in Rwanda, she said many people are hiding bad news towards their neighbors, and it is not good, because they were giving them machetes and we didn't know. So it was there. So then,
so this was pretty much working behind the night.
Yes,
behind scenes, pretty much.
For 4 years, they prepared the genocide. The radio was created to spread hatred, you know. So when the time came they wanted, they literally killed the president outside his house. Like in the country, they shot his plane in the backyard. He almost landed over his house. That's where they shot him.
Over his house?
His house.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was someone inside the country who knew very well where he was.
So
they shot.
It sounds like an inside job.
Inside job.
Yeah.
And then this is what they did. Oh, our president is dead. Let's kill all the Tutsis. They killed him. And then they started with children, 10 minutes after. So it was so well prepared. Wow. So they wanted an excuse to say, okay, now we can blame them.
How did you survive? Where did you hide? For how long? What happened to your family, to your friends? Yeah. What did you eat? What did you do? What went through your mind?
So the genocide started when I was home for Easter holiday. And one morning on Wednesday, my brother came to my room and told me that the president was killed that night. It was really like a signal they gave to each other to start killing people of our tribe. The radio started to say that they have already shut down the roads, the country, the schools, every activity. So my parents sent me to hide in the house of a neighbor who was from a Hutu tribe. So a good man, even if supposedly they were supposed to be our enemies, it was through the government. So he kept me in a bathroom of 3 by 4 feet.
3 by 4?
By 4, 1 meter by 1.5 meters, with 7 other women.
7 other women?
Other women. Literally were sitting on top of each other. We spent in that bathroom 3 months. And during that time, that's where so many changes happened in my heart. We were hiding. We did not talk to each other for 3 months. We did not even know each other's names. except that we were Tutsis. So for 3 months, we were in that place.
So you met them right there?
Right there.
Wow.
I have seen 3 of them before in my life, but we have never had a conversation. So he brought them, and we have to be quiet. But in times like that, you don't need to know the names of people. Then we sat there. So during the 3 months, what changed also is that they were searching for us. So the government have given order to search every Tutsi. I remember when the government said, don't forget children, don't forget elder people. It's a cleansing. We have to only remain one tribe in this country, and we'll own their homes, and then we'll have everything they had. We'll be rich, we'll be happy. You just feel like, this is not realistic. But they did it. And every day they will say how they kill people. They kill people very horribly, where kids will be crying and saying like, I will not pee on the bed again. I will not disrespect my dad, because they thought they did something wrong. Wow. And then they killed them. So it was horrible. Really, when you just saw hell. So during that time, how I survived, I can be here today to share. I give credit to my father who gave me the rosary.
That was my next question. What kept you alive?
What kept me alive?
What gave you purpose?
What kept me alive was prayer. Prayer. When I was separating my father, he gave me the rosary in my hand. He didn't say much. I remember he said, what can I give you? Which we just separating for next day. You don't need to give me anything. But it was as if he was telling me, I will not be here again. Wow. And whenever you need anything, you know what to do. You pray the rosary. You talk to God. I won't be your father anymore. It was hard, but I can feel it in my heart. So I went to the neighbor, and that's where I went. And for the 3 months, I prayed the rosary from morning until night. And when I would be praying, that's when I felt the power of God. That's when I felt my anger would stop, the fear would stop. When I stopped praying, all the fear would come back. So prayer really kept me alive. By praying, meditating on Jesus and Mary, what they went through. And then I started to face the changes, because I needed to forgive. If I keep saying through the rosary, forgive us as we forgive, I need to forgive. But how? So I had a struggle to forgive, because I really realized that the only one I had was God. My parents were there for my life. They didn't even know where they would be themselves. They were struggling like I was. So there was like where everything you believed in life would just have changed,
Wow.
And with that, I held on to God. I held on to God like to my Father. Sometimes I used to feel I'd be holding onto the cross, like Jesus, hold me, protect me under your blood.
So what do you think is guiding you to do what you're doing right now?
What I do today truly is prayer again that gives me strength. I pray my rosary every day. I read the Bible. That's why I get the wisdom. And practically, I come from Rwanda, different culture. I live in the USA, and I travel the world, every other country, every month somewhere. And with that comes different cultures. But anytime I see people who are Christians, who pray, we have the same heart. We have the same values. And it comes from the Bible. And I just love it, because we have this guidance collectively, the whole world, that we read, don't do unto other what you would not like to be done to you. Respect others, love one another, forgive one another. So I just love my faith.
Well, tell us about your faith, and how do you think your experience changed you?
My experience changed everything. I took God seriously. There's one time I described this.
That's important. That's important. You took God seriously.
Seriously. I really took God seriously. And I remember when it happened. Sometimes we grew up like Catholics or Christians. We're part of it. We just go like a culture until you have an experience of your own life and say, God help me. And then you see him helping you. You name, yourself, your age. You spoke to God. It's not about other people. Not only the priest who is saying, oh, we do this. No, you ask God to help you. God is individual to people.
Well, I do have many more questions to ask you,
I love your questions.
but I know that you're short on time, and there are many things that you have to do and people to address you. But if there's a way, maybe we can in the future actually finish the talk.
Yes.
So I thank you for the opportunity, and if you want, if you feel so you can actually tell something else to our viewers.
Yes.
Feel free to do so.
Yes, I really want to tell people, please take your faith seriously. and try it. Because sometimes we hear things, we read things in the Bible, and then you know it is there, but you kind of question back in your mind, like, really? Are you there? Prayers can move mountains, ask shall be given. Try him.
It happens to everyone.
Everyone. Talk to him and voice it. Tell God what you want. Tell him about your fears, but also forgive, love, like make an effort. Pray. God, prayer can move mountains and it can really change things. And again, speaking to your viewers and the people who are watching, every single person have suffering they go through. I speak of great suffering of that during that time, and I have gone through other things in my life, and I still go through life. You know, suffering, joy, answers. I hold on to the rosary. I just want to say to people who are watching, please remember, hold on to hope. Never give up. There is always hope.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for sharing your story. So hopefully we can actually have an opportunity in the future.
To speak more.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.